Good morning, you guys. It is Klairee Berry. It is Sunday morning, and I am back with you as promised. And I'm just going to jump right in here. We're going to be doing a reading for all 4 elements at the same time. Now, the reason why I do the 4 elements instead of the whole 12 different zodiac signs is, of course, because when I used to do it that way, I used to notice the readings were practically identical, and so it was a little bit of a waste of time for everybody. Plus, I like to show that people are connected, that we are all going through the same thing. This is what I've realized lately with tarot and just talking to people, hearing people, and this is what happens, is you kind of realize that there's a connection, and we are a collective, and we are going through things singularly, but also together. And we have to understand that, and the more we can kind of relate with that and understand that, you can use it for your advantage. Of course, the advantage of all would be the way to go. So we got sensitivity. You're extra sensitive to energies and emotions right now. So honor yourself and honor your feelings. That's great, because honor, if you've been watching the last couple of my videos, I'm pretty sure I brought it up once or twice at least about honoring yourself, honoring other people, honoring your twin flame, all of these sorts of things. Okay, so let's move on. Let's go ahead and take this moon oracle cards next. We do have a full moon coming up. Today our moon is in Taurus. It went into Taurus this morning at 2:30 a.m. Okay, today on the 8th. So I'm feeling like it's a great time for people to relax, rejuvenate, take a load off, enjoy some of, life's finer things. Support yourself while you are also digging deeper. Of course, gotta go deeper. Always go deeper. I mean, the answer is always going within. It really is. That's why I preach it so much. But your commitment is being tested, okay? First quarter moon. Your commitment is being tested. And this is very general. It's very interesting because a lot of these will tell you this sign or that sign. And again, that speaks to that collectivity that I was just talking about. Your commitment is being tested. And of course, you can see we have the clouds. Something's clouding our vision. Something's getting in the way of us doing our work. But of course, we notice the shadow side of the moon, which is always there. It's always there. That shadow side of us is pretty much always there. Sometimes more than others, of course. You may be, even being sensitive to your own shadow side, if that might resonate with anyone. Okay. So yeah, I really hope you guys are doing well right now. This Taurus moon should be a time of, again, kind of just chill, order, grounding, rest, relaxation, good foods, maybe a little bit of nice drinks. I'm gonna take 2 of these. Oh, okay. So we have the Knave of Swords in reverse. And then we have the Empress. I just love these cards, and they're so hard to see. They really are tiny. Okay, so this is speaking to the twin flames, okay? Kind of in action, going somewhere that is not necessarily a coming together. But that's because they both are working on things. Or just, or knowing, knowing, being okay with the way things are happening. With the way, like knowing that it's going to play out. It's all part of the plan. You just kind of sit back and let it happen. Okay? Because I think obviously the divine feminine here is probably just really connected here, going within, keeping busy, not being sucked in by that pull. She's dealing with that too. Like she's changing her way of acting instead of always being, overcompensating and always available and all of these things. It's not like she's playing games, but she's changed her energy to be more, she's an empress. She's not just a queen. She is even higher, than a queen. She's come so far. All the little things that she's done have been adding up. She thinks of them often. It's like the idea, of these titles that kind of stack up and stack up. Like you've done so much. People are following you. People are starting to follow you, adore you, want to serve you, want to help you, want to maybe not serve you, but serve on the mission that you're on as well. Okay, work with you, work for you. This is like in demand, and knowing that every good thing is fully connected to you and your interaction with the world, your interaction with the divine. It's like people who go through the world and they don't think it's divine, they never see the magic, but if you expect the magic every single day, if you expect the love, if you expect, the generosity and the windfalls and things like this, then you will be so lucky. I mean, it really is. And it's not 100%, there are factors and there are things, there are karmic debts that, we have to go through. But the more that we can do those with this in mind, like nothing's always going to be perfect. And I know, being like a Cancer sun and moon, I get kind of, caught up in the idealism of some of this stuff. But on a practical level, it's almost like being comfortable playing this waiting game, if that makes sense. But again, it's not games, because I think everybody knows here it's a good idea, be very honest in your communication. Just don't, there may have to be like, because you're feeling sensitive, it's having to do with this as well too. It's like you're extra sensitive. So again, in the past, you may have reacted differently, but now that you're more, of this empress, this higher, level, just to go off by yourself in nature, figuratively or, spiritually, or however, go into your reading, into your, like, whatever your happy place is, your happy things are, for you to do, then do those things, and we're all of us are working, both sides of the twin flames, the divine masculine and the divine feminine, are working here on, there's a lot going on with this Gemini full moon that we're going to have. See, after we come out of Taurus, we're going to go into the moon into Gemini on Tuesday, the 10th. And so at that point, it's going to be kind of refreshing for a lot of people, especially obviously air people who we have not really been in air for a while. So even having a full moon the next day on Wednesday around midnight, a little after midnight, 12:12 a.m. Central Time, I think it's going to be a special, since it is at 12:12. I think that's going to be a special moon, especially for people who do have it at 12:12. So central, like I said, Central Time on that. But for everybody, it's an opportunity. It's going to be an opportunity to wrap up a cycle and start a new one. Okay, so let's do 3 of these. And then we'll jump into our readings for each element. Okay, this is just the underlying energy that, again, is going on for, most everyone in some capacity, in some way, shape, or form. I'm going to throw out a lot of examples. If you guys don't know how I do it, throw out a lot of examples of things that could happen, but it's like something similar, or that's the general energy, feeling of the energy that's going on. So here we go. 3. Ooh. Do you love it? Oh, you can't hardly see it. I'm sorry here. Okay, so we have the High Priestess in reverse. We have the 10 of Cups in reverse. And then we have the World. So that is amazing, okay? These 2 in reverse we need to work on these. We need to, and they're very important as well, to go within, to get higher in, not with drugs, not with any of this, get higher in the sense of you're going within every day. Like, this needs to be your reliance. If you have a reliance on anything, it needs to be this reliance on going within. This is serving yourself. This is spirituality. This is a good thing for you to do. It's absolutely positive, and it's absolutely going to bring you your happiness within your relationships. See, the moon is still there. Okay? This is turning all of these bad situations from the past into a positive, warm, loving place. And it doesn't necessarily mean having kids, but this has to do with getting deep enough into the healing that you're hitting your inner child work. When you hit the inner child work, you're changing the world. This is very, very, very clear. You're changing yourself. Yourself is completely changed. Your inner and outer energies are completely changed. The way you interact with the world is changed. The way you interact with other people will be completely changed again. Okay? This is in the future. Okay, so I'm going to jump right in. This is very, very clear, and I love how it's simple for everyone during, it's such a strong message. Your commitment is being tested. What are you committed to? Is this just your person that you're talking about? Is this yourself committed to the shadow work? This is what this is about. Because see, we have you have that half of that moon that is gone. You're halfway between an old place and a new place. And with this full moon, we are stepping into the new place. Your commitment is being tested as we are stepping into this new place. But if you want to overall have a good full moon, and again, move into this better place that you want. What do you want? You want that loving feeling. Baby, that loving feeling. Okay? But there's some kind of a mindset that is keeping you two apart. The mindset is causing the distance. This is what I'm picking up on. But it can be very easily eliminated, especially because it's mind. Problems, all of our problems are usually, not all of our problems, but the problems that we can control, we create on our own out of our subconscious because we don't deal. And when you do deal, you're not only helping yourself, but you're helping the entire world, because this is all of our purposes, and we need to get on with it. We need to get on with it. Okay, so I'm going to start with air. Okay, so for air signs, again, all of these can be pertaining to your sun sign, your moon, your ascendant, your Mercury, Mars, or Venus, your north node, maybe south node, a lot of different things. And also that for your people and your person and your partner, your twin flame. Okay, so keep that in mind as you're watching these, because chances are, when it gets down to the elements, you're going to have, maybe you could have, somebody's moon that you're talking about that is the element that you're watching. And it also could be your sun, and it could be somebody else's ascendant. It's like you can, if you kind of view them with a more of an open and unlimited mind, you might just pick up and, it can even kind of be like, oh yeah, that person is that, like now that I remember. Okay. Oh my gosh. Did you guys see that? This is so important. Okay. This needs to be done. I don't care if you've been doing it or not. I'm not here to tell you. Hopefully you have been working on some shadow work. The shadow work, I have detailed information on how to do the shadow work in my program. It's 30 videos, hours and hours and hours and hours and hours long. It goes through the holistic healing and law of attraction, holistic law of attraction. It goes through the shadow work, and then it goes down to the inner child healing. Okay, so this is a complete trip here. Okay, so stay open to this. This is going deep, going way higher. Learning. She's got the scrolls, in her hands. That's wisdom. She's putting it together using her mental capacity right now, which again, mental capacity, like this Taurus moon energy that we're going through right now over Sunday. Again, it's very steady, very stable. It's a good time to jump into the shadow work. Okay, it's a good time to check yourself, check your thoughts, check your reactions, flip them, say the opposite of everything you think, everything you say, everything you believe. Just allow yourself that possibility. When we speak to our subconscious in this way, our subconscious is open to all possibilities. We want our subconscious to be open to all possibilities because there are more possibilities than just one. And the thing that we naturally gravitate to sometimes is because of a stuck thought, belief, or expectation that shouldn't even be there. So we're getting in our own way. We are our own worst enemies. This is sort of the idea. This is sort of the general idea. And the program goes way deep into how to just jump right in the shadow work is so great because right away you start to see the benefits. It doesn't bring you down and then bring you back up. The inner child healing is a little bit more difficult, and sometimes, you have to be a little bit careful about how you go about doing that. It can be, a little, I don't want to say dangerous, but like it can derail you a little bit, from, it can kind of mute things and kind of aggravate your emotions in certain ways. And so you have to be kind of careful with the inner child healing work. But the shadow work is painless. It's harmless. It's so enlightening. It flips the switch super fast. It's so worth it. Again, it's really just working with the dualities of life. So it's very deep, okay? And it's inside of us, all of us. We should all be doing this on a daily basis, okay? So let's keep going here. Again, this little reading is for air. I like to start off with air because out of our holistic law of attraction, the air is first because it was a thought first. Things are thoughts first, and then in the cycle of creation, they move outward and move down and out, I guess you could say. Okay, so we've got some reversals here. Okay. There's a very important kind of situation where we're looking at the past, looking at the future. Okay? You want to go forward, but you keep on moving backwards. You want to go forward, but you keep on, somebody can't let go of pain, neglect, distance, habits of the mind, like creating the same thing. It's a really cloudy, again, kind of this really cold energy where we don't feel loved. We don't feel good enough. Everybody has things like this. And figuring out what yours are and why you have them is the purpose of the shadow work. This is such a shadow work card. So far, this is all about shadow work. Again, Taurus, a great time. When it's Taurus moon, it's a great time to do this work because it's even a great time actually to do the inner child healing work because when you're in such a stable place, with your mood and with your inner, with your subconscious already, then it can allow for much better digging because everything else is really stable. And so doing the inner child work in the program is also very good, as well as the shadow work here, because there are definitely some patterns here, repeating patterns. And Gemini is also, and I want you to remember with this full moon coming up, Gemini is one of these dualities, one of these signs that have a lot of dualistic, energies. And so he's got 2 swords in his hands here, okay? And he's got 3. Actually, he's got 3 in his hands total, but he's got 2 up here and 3 together. Or there's 2 down here and 3. Either way, there's 2, okay? And so you want to watch out with Gemini moon and the full moon, things, that you notice that you are doing in 2s. You may have to redo something, do it again. There's just kind of that energy, okay? Redoing, do it again. And it also speaks to the twin flames too. It's like, do I go this way? Do I go that way? Which way do I move right now? I'm not exactly sure. I've got maybe too much on my plate, feeling like I can't carry everything, and it's hurting somebody. This could very well easily be the divine masculine in the situation. Again, it could be the air person or it could be the other person. It can flip as well. So stay open to that. But feeling bad because they can't make enough time. They think they can't make enough time. Because again, it's these thoughts, beliefs, and expectations that they should be doing something else. They should be doing this. Or just that fear that they're going to end up hurting, their person again. And they don't want to put them through that. And so at this time, that's all they can do. It's like they notice the pain of people or persons, but their hands are tied. They feel like there's nothing that they can do, like they have to go through with it anyway. Okay, so that's just an energy that's coming through, and that's probably what is causing our heartbreak here. There's been also a lot of energies lately too with, just going through with Scorpio, and then also with Sagittarius. It's kind of, you go through some intense things with Scorpio sometimes, and then when you get to Sagittarius, it's like, damn it, people, you just want their love, you just want people to pay attention to you, And that's kind of a common drive during Sagittarius. So, and when you're not getting that energy and people are just too busy, for you, or they're not putting through, this goalpost in mind that you have, again, thought, beliefs, and expectations. Notice how these are all swords, and swords have been very predominant in my readings lately. And the reason that is because of this full moon in Gemini coming up. This is saying this is going to be a very big moon. And it does, of course, have to do with our thoughts, our beliefs, our expectations. And the best thing you can do, again, to work on these, to block these repeating patterns from happening and causing the heartache in the first place, is to stop expecting them, is to do something different, that is going to change the situation. But it's also, obviously it's shadow work, going in and working with these thoughts, beliefs, and expectations on a very practical level, doing this over time, okay? This is not showing up once saying, oh, these are very sturdy lifestyle and passion that is leading to growth here, okay? Because of the commitment to the going within, commitment to the learning, the higher learning. And when I say higher learning, this is funny because I've never been a person to really promote like college and university. I feel like I've seen a family member or two, different people get degrees and not do anything with them. And you always hear stories about Bill Gates and all this stuff. And I know a lot of people that I've dated in the past, not a lot of people, but a couple of my boyfriends have been like construction workers, so they make a lot of money and they don't need, and they do just fine. So it's just kind of this bias that I've always had, like, against higher learning. But if you look at certain like astrology books or numerology books, it's like they'll say that for my birthday and everything and my sign that I am supposed to be about like this higher learning. And it's not that I don't appreciate it, because I do appreciate higher learning of all forms. And I do appreciate like colleges and universities, but there's just like a divide. But the higher learning, this is where it comes through for me. Higher meaning, the way we always use deeper and higher, deeper and higher. Yeah? Yeah, that's fine, babe. Love you. What? Love you. Where are you going? All right, babe. Sorry. Okay. Be sure and check in. Okay. I expect him to leave so early. Otherwise, I would have talked to him, woke him up before I started the video. Sorry about that, guys. Real life just happens. Just got to go with it. So the thoughts, the beliefs and expectations absolutely lead to your emotions about things. Your emotions are just basically a deeper extension of your thoughts. When your thoughts are backed up by like actual experience, things happening, the way that happened, the way that made you feel. For some people, they can get into the emotional side of it by not even going through it, just by being empathetic or something like that. But the emotional side is where it comes down and it gets more grounded and it's ready to come out as an action. Okay, so it's like the process of this alchemy. Okay, alchemy of creation. This is our holistic law of attraction that I always talk about. So when you're worried, when you're fearful, when you're acting, when you're operating out of fear, it's gonna still lead you to heartache. So the key is to get rid of the fear. Well, how do you do that? By first going within and over time making it a habit to do the shadow work. That's what this is about. Again, get passionate. Get passionate. You will see the growth. You will feel the growth. You will do amazing things. You will go new places. This will open up doors for you. Okay? It'll take you to a higher place, a better place. Okay? And it will alleviate all of these repetitive thinking cycles, things that just keep on going, keep on haunting you, keep on causing problems, keep on holding you back. You're moving away from this heartache. You're moving away from this cycle. And you're doing that. The deeper, let me tell you, the deeper you get into the emotional side of it, which again, your shadow work deals more with your thoughts, your beliefs, your expectations, your swords. But then after you get through with your shadow work, then you move on to the inner child healing, which is the more emotional. Okay? It's the more emotional side. And that's when you get more more better results. Okay. And when you complete your healing here, and you're going to take it and you're going to spread it onto the world. The inner healing spreads to the outer healing. The outer healing on you when it's apparent, then you'll spread it to other people. And the light bulbs will all be going on. People will be waking up from this zombie slavery lifestyle where, gosh, I just saw the DuPont movie, the Dark Waters yesterday, and it's just amazing because, how would you feel, to be one of these people whose lives are completely altered just by these chemicals and these corporations? You're completely look different, probably health problems like death, all of this stuff is happening because of these corporations, and that's part of this waking up again that is so beyond us. And again, what brings us here is the love and getting out of these cycles of heartache that we have with our people, with our loved ones, with our person. Okay, but you are having this deep love for this person for a reason, and that reason is to take you deeper and higher, deeper and higher. This is a strong message to the divine feminine here to go deep within here, deep, deep, deep within. We're figuring things out. We're switching. Again, the shadow work is keeping us stable, steady, growing, learning. This is a great time of change. And there's going to be alterations to your lifestyle as a result of these awakenings, these changes. Again, maybe some minimalistic tendencies coming through with the Capricorn. Changing, when you change your mind, again, you're changing your emotions, and that goes through your actions. Again, you can hear more about this whole phenomenon in my program, KlaireeBerry.com. Okay, but this is saying, we have this healing energy inside of us. When we heal ourselves, we are then capable of helping to spark other people's self-healing. Okay, and this is self-empowerment. This is power to the people. Okay, this is why I feel so strongly about this. So please like, subscribe, share, etc. Let's jump right in here to the water signs, okay? Again, water comes next because water is the emotional side here. This is our relationships. This is our mirrors. How we interact with the other people in our life, and what we take from our interactions from them as well. Okay, let's jump right in. I got the world staying over here because I love it. It's just so important, and that is the bigger picture here. Okay, so again, we have a lot of air energy here, a lot of swords. Okay. Again, very important reading, maybe a little bit out leading into to the future. Okay, so keep that in mind as I say it. I might be saying in the present, but for you, it might be a little bit more in the future, or however, sometimes you'll think back later and be like, oh, that's what she meant by this. Okay, because remember, our commitment is being tested here, and it is being tested for a reason, because we need to basically pass these tests, again, pass the test in order to level up and help create this new world. Okay, we don't get things handed to us for free. This is how we work. This is how we work out. This is how we transmute the negative energies. Okay, is by dissecting them, looking at them. Okay, your feelings and your emotions, they're not always going to be happy, positive, flowery little emotions. Sometimes you're going to have emotions popping up that are negative, and that's okay. You're still a beautiful angel if you have negative feelings. Jesus knocked over tables. He was angry. He had anger. He was not, oh, sunshine and all the time. Okay, this is about being practical. This is about being stable and steady in one area. Maybe the ego kind of bleeding over here and causing problems for some of these water signs. Okay, but feeling overall a very stable energy, maybe being distracted. Okay, maybe not paying attention to the inner because there's too much focus on the outer. The passion is really about the money, maybe the job, the social standings, things of this nature, the home and the decorations, all of these highfalutin, procedures, and, the games that we play with ourselves, the award ceremonies and things like this. This is just that ego mindset, and thinking that because we're good at one thing or doing one thing, or this part of our life may be in order, that we're good and we don't have to go deeper. Well, no, because there's a whole load of things that we've been trying to neglect that are going to come back to bite us here if we don't pay attention to them. Okay, so it's coming to peace with and not being afraid of doing this work either. Okay, I think there's like people that are more scared of doing the work than the work is actually hard. Because again, the shadow work is what we need here, because these are swords. Okay, the swords are not that scary because it's so easy to change. It's so easy to flip the switch with the shadow work. You just got to really commit to it. You got to commit to this healing. You got to get passionate also about this healing. Okay, your passion might have been elsewhere. If you really want the healing, then you've got to have the passion towards the healing. Okay, you've got to also, a little bit of a visionary right now here. Okay, what do you want? Focus on that. Don't focus on the negative. Don't focus on the superficial. Okay, that's what this is very clearly saying. You do have some rearranging to do with this shadow work, but knowing what you want is going to be, knowing what you want and holding a vision of it is going to help you to raise your vibration and like feel. Water signs are very feely, so you want to always make sure, and before you do any work, any special work on, your life's dreams or goals or whatever, you take a moment and be cleansing. And before you do anything big, before you even do your visualizations, you want to support yourself in ways to make yourself feel really good and get yourself kind of on that vibration, on that feeling energy. Okay, because that extra sensitivity might be speaking to you as well. Okay, so really honoring any of these feelings, even honoring the negative feelings, is something you need to do. And by honoring them, it's using them. They are a ladder here. If you turn it sideways, climb up the ladder. Get out of this pit of despair. Get out of these dark nights of the soul. Okay, your happiness is waiting for you as soon as you change your mind about something. Maybe something big. Maybe something that happened when you were an adolescent. Okay, maybe some work needs to be done, but things are going to be changed around. Things are going to be used for your advantage. Everything happens for a reason. Fate, okay? Everything happens for a reason. There's some protective energy here, some hiding, okay? Perhaps hiding, perhaps running, perhaps just ignoring situations, okay? I'm going to take another couple of cards for the, something that we're getting rid of here. We have something that needs to be gotten rid of, an awakening that needs to happen regarding the twin flame situation here. Okay, water signs, causing more trouble because they haven't gone deep enough. Go deeper with the shadow work. Focus on, work us on the holistic law of attraction. You really need to keep this happiness in mind. All of the growth, all of the beauty, all of the familial, unconditional love feelings. Focus on those more and more. Okay, and it'll help you to change, again, some of these recurring thoughts, beliefs, and expectations that are not serving us right now. Okay, so, and the thoughts, beliefs, and expectations are causing the actions that are blocking something off from you, blocking a union. You're blocking your own union here by some belief, thought, belief, or expectation. Okay, you're turning away from the passion. You're creating your own loneliness here somehow. You're maybe one of those things where you're too busy, or and those things, let them happen. Sometimes you need that time. I'm not saying not to do this. This could be a self-protection mechanism here. The shells, that sometimes the water signs like to use. And you may need this time for healing. Absolutely. This may be a very healing time for you to be, again, it's the hermit. It's the energy. It's going within rather than paying attention to all this busy stuff. A lot of people are busy, bustle, go, parties, this, that, do. And this may be saying it's okay to turn away from this right now because, in order to move away from this past situation and move to where you want to go, you're definitely going to have to focus on some things focus on the way you've been thinking, but also it's going to come from the past and doing shadow work on the past. So again, maybe also going down into some inner child healing. Okay. Remember guys, if you want extended readings for any of these element readings within this video, then you can sign up for the Patreon. It's $5 per element per month, and you'll get a video each week. So you get 4 videos a week. Four extended videos a month. Okay, so again, go to KlairEeBerry.com or sign up on my Patreon for that. Okay, let's move on to fire. Okay, fire. What's going on with our fire signs? If you're having a birthday for fire, if you just had a birthday, happy birthday. For Sagittarius, I hope everyone else is doing wonderfully. Let's see what we got here. Okay, a lot of reversals. Again, very important reading. This is a new deck, so that's probably also why they haven't gotten shuffled around as much, but very important. We're also, again, into the future a little bit. Hi, matey. Ooh, this is fun. This is fun. Fires are having some fun here. Okay. Okay. So first we have the Four of Spirals, which spirals is fire, is wood. Okay. Wood and fire. But we have a moon here on this very, very interesting little hut. Okay. So we're talking about home, talking about the sturdiness, talking about something going on, something changing, something that is about what we're doing, our actions. Our actions, maybe this is saying our actions need to be going within, staying home, being hermit, living in this magical fantasy lifestyle right now, perfectly a-okay. It's helping us to grow. It's helping to keep us protected, and to be who we really are is coming out by doing this inner work. Okay, fire signs. So good on you. Okay. It's a very good little humble energy here. Okay. This is interesting. We have the mime, the page of spirals. So again, actually all of the, oh my gosh, tons of spiral energy here. So this speaks to the Sagittarius energy playing through the fire. So we have the Four, the mime, the Corsair, and then the muse for our fire. Okay, so there is a huge passion, a huge, like, I'm getting like a decision that has to be made. Maybe the decision has to do with the shadow work, and it's very freeing for fire signs right now. And it's going to help you kind of overcome any type of codependent energy that you may have within your relationship and stand up for yourself a little bit more. And it's a really big period of growth for the fire signs here. And again, this could be any type of fire sign, whether it's a moon in fire, ascendant, or anything like this, but definitely benefiting from the Sagittarius energy that we're in. Okay, but it's also speaking to the what that does to us, because we do feel silly, we do feel goofy, you know, but it's helping us to make connections. And even if we go through different moods and different like spells, like, you know, you may have to focus on yourself, but then you'll also learn things when you're with other people. Okay, so listen to other people and pay attention to nature and what's going on around you as you're working on these things. It's kind of like take a rest from your everyday, what you normally do, and kind of go off on this adventure, you know, by yourself, because you know that you're, again, I'm getting this commitment is being tested. Again, this is like going off on, because Sagittarius is all about travel. So there could be some actual travel here, or it could just be this journey that you're going on, because you start off at your home, but it's like we're leaving this little cozy home of the way we've always done things. And because going within does kind of knock you off your rocker a little bit. It's like, whoa, you know, it can. And I think this has to do with this inner child healing, you know, with the Sagittarius, you know, leaning towards just children and childlike. Very good time to go within here. Okay, so you may be having this adventure within the confines of your little home. Again, it's relating to people on, could be some type of psychedelic drugs, even just marijuana, like using this idea to change things, you know, taking this trip again, and or just having a similar awakening of, again, kind of this awakening of the world around you, what the world is really about, this higher knowledge, and coming through, you know, that almost like a rebirth and a growing up. Okay, but then it's like almost like, okay, you've grown up too much, and now you think it's kind of like you think you're hard, but you still have this like soft inside that if anybody, I think, got to know you, they would know. And that's the bird here is, signifying, listening to, paying attention to not only your bliss and what you need, what you want, like having this true mission that you're connected with, and taking care of it on this journey. It signifies going deeper into the journey. Okay, so right now you're definitely like on a pathway here, and listening to your spirit guides are very important on this journey for you. Okay, so, and then we have the muse, which is also, just another pit stop, but this is where we get our information from, where we get our inspiration from. And it needs to be coming from a good place. It needs to be coming from a pure place. It needs to be coming from a place of love. This all really has to do with what we're acting on. If we run, we're acting on, fear. If we are hard and we're like hardening our hearts to people, then we're acting maybe out of fear, maybe out of anger, things of this nature. But where we are coming from for our actions is really important. So again, that speaks to all the healing, because the healing is the inner work. And then what happens is your outer is a direct result of what is going on up here and in, your gut, in your other mind, your emotions, okay, and the way you feel. So we have the Magician. This has been popping up all the time for me lately, okay, and I do have Leo ascendant here with you guys on the fire. So through this journey, our eyes are definitely being opened big time. Again, it's similar to this psychedelic experience, like, wow, big aha moments. It's like, have your fun, live your life, do the things that you're interested in, follow your heart, and take care of that need to, again, act on your passions. Make sure that, there's a lot of passion here. There's a lot of action energy. So make sure that you are just allowing yourself to go through the stages of getting deeper into something. Okay. Everybody starts out as, the page, and then they go through certain patterns and they elevate. And, at a certain point, it's kind of coming down to who are you really? And what are you listening to? And again, it's not listening to these emotions as much. It's not letting your emotions get carried away with you, or reacting to them and trying to overprotect yourself, sort of type of thing, or run, it's actually having this higher understanding of what is happening with your people, with your relationship, with your person. And it's being able to use that. That's what this Strength card is about here. This wisdom and this understanding of the love, what it is, what its purpose is. Okay? So it might be an inner journey that is going on here, and that is perfectly okay. Okay? That is perfectly okay. And that is in alignment with the twin flame journey. Again, don't be afraid of the journey. Don't be afraid of if there needs to be some solitude, okay? And the learning of these lessons, the processing of these lessons, and getting any way that you can kind of, again, get your intentions, make sure they're pure. And again, the shadow work is all going to help with that as well. And inner child healing, understanding, these deep understanding. If you want to go to counseling, sometimes it's great to be able to talk these problems out with people, talk to good friends, talk to yourself, talk to your videos, work, even if you're never going to post them for anybody, talking things out, working things out, actions, what you're actually focused on, what you're actually spending your time on here, and why. You have to deal with the why to know, kind of figure out the patterns of what you're doing, or what part of the cycles that you're in. Okay? So follow these passions, these urges that you don't know. Don't deny them and block them just because you're having certain feelings. You can't just play them off and act like, oh, it's more spiritual, or it's better for me just to ignore them. No, this is about, at first you may not know why you're acting in a certain way. You just feel it. You just do it out of instinct. It's just a reaction. And then when you go in with the shadow work, you actually identify why you're doing something. What is the feeling behind it? Who hurt you, and where on your body did they hurt you? So that sort of thing. And how does this make you feel? Where do you feel the pain of that situation? And when did you first feel that pain? And going into it and doing this inner child healing, this might be something that, again, needs to happen to know why things are, to raise this understanding, this third eye understanding. Again, having this alignment between your mental, your emotional, your physical, and then your habitual pentacles, outer energies, these things are all connected. It's all part of aligning of your chakras as well. This is health stuff. So this is why it's so important for me, and important for all of us to just, again, look ourselves straight in the eye. Stop bullshitting ourselves, allowing ourselves to be fake, be lower energies, to kind of pull the wool over our own eyes and lie to our own selves. This is, again, look at how he's directly, looking at, this is having that strength to directly look yourself in the eye, tell yourself you love yourself, and know and truly understand and get why do you do certain things. Why, I always see these movies like Better Call Saul TV show, you can tell it's something from their past. It's all these past things that are causing them to act in a certain way. Everybody has these baggages, these things, but when we face them, we put an end to them. We kill them. It seems like some weird hoodoo magic, but it's really just the way things are. It's the way it is. Okay? This is a little bit interesting of a card here, but I think that perfectly sums up what we're going for here. So we're going to move on, but calling the attention again back here to this world changing. Everything is helping everything. Every little thing you do to support another person, another animal, another spirit being, like anything. You support them, they help support you. Okay? So let's move on to our last element, which is earth. Okay? We're doing the earth people now. Again, sun, moon, rising, ascendant. Rising / ascendant, I always say. It's funny we get in our habits with things we say. But again, that's just another thing that I'm talking about. We get in our habits with the things we say because we get in the habits with things we think. And we need to get out of the habits of thinking things that we don't need to be thinking. Get beyond that. Ooh, okay. Some of the same types of stuff here. Again, lovers, okay, in reverse. Lots of reversals. 3 of Swords, bam. Had the 3 of Swords earlier. Love it. See how everything's like the same. Okay. We are working on stabilizing this loving energy, getting over this cycle. We're still working on it. Things don't disappear. That's what I keep saying. Like, why we need to keep focusing and we need to keep digging, and your commitment is being tested to yourself right now, to yourself and to everybody else. Again, it's you, it's the world, the inner and the outer. Okay, if you want to get out of this and get into this, you need to be that naked and vulnerable with yourself. And that is going back and clearing out these thoughts, beliefs, and expectations. These thoughts, beliefs, and expectations are getting in our way. And they're causing a cloudiness of emotional, what's the word? Like dissonance that's causing to keep us from, it's just kind of like the other readings that I just did. It keeps us from being able to receive, positive things in our life. Being able to receive love, receive attention and care. We're not giving it to ourselves either. There's a lot of flirty energy here. There's a lot of healing energy here. And there's a very deep love. All obviously, okay? But there's also a very deep heartache. But the heartache is within both. And it's beyond each of them together. I mean, yes, there's been heartache problems between the relationship, but the heartache, this is within each of the twin flames. Each person has their own heartaches, their own main 3 things probably, that are really causing the most havoc in the emotional world. And then that's what's going through, for both parties. What comes in, what's formed that's what goes out. And it's really excuse me, it's really been affecting the relationship. But it really is affecting the whole entire life, and we don't realize it. But you see here, we also have Swords, which is, again, this is the cycle. This is the order. This happens all the time. Okay, for the lover's journey here, there's a thought, belief, or expectation that is getting in the way. Again, go to claireberry.com, get my program. The first part of the program is talking about the holistic law of attraction. This is the same order as the holistic law of attraction. This is what I've been talking about the whole entire video. Thoughts, beliefs, expectations. Something happened to you that caused you to believe a certain thing is always going to happen to you. You can usually, this is how life is. Life is cold, hard, dark, da 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 da. You believe a certain thing and you feel it. Once you start to believe it and you feel it, and that's what happens. If maybe you're scared of it, or somebody else instills you with the fear, or somebody else threatens you, or something happens that makes you believe again, and it makes you feel bad a certain way, and then when this goes through the cycle, and you act in a certain way because that's what you believe and that's what you expect, then that's what comes back to you is more of this heartache, more of this pain, suffering, etc. And then that's what you expect. And the cycle goes on and on. It gets deepened because the emotional thing is like the emotional side is like the frequency of how much, if you have more and more fear, that's a very powerful attractor. Feelings is like the juice, that turns this machine on. And if there's a lot of fear or a lot of passion, love, then those are some of the most attractants, but you want to make sure and always be operating out of love. Love for yourself, love for the world, love for the environment, love for everything. Your fellow man, animals even. Yes, okay? Because we don't need to live in pain. We don't need to live in fear. We don't need to live in a lack mentality. We don't need to live always thinking that we need to be slaves to the system and pay them all our money and this and this and that. We have better things to do, okay? We need to be paying attention to the signs right now because the future is coming and we need to be prepared, okay? We want to be together. We want to be drama free. We want to be happy. Okay. And sometimes we just have to do the things that we might not want to do. Look, again, it's this idea of like staring it in the face, clearing out the fog, clearing out the emotional reactions and kind of going deeper and figuring it out. This is like, okay, at first everything's messed up. We don't know why this is happening. But then after we go off by ourselves, and get in touch with these emotions on a deeper level. This is all about your relationship with everybody else starts with your relationship with yourself. And sometimes you have to go off by yourself and really feel what you feel, see what you see, feel what nature is trying to tell you. Allow yourself to do healing. When you go off by yourself, healing will happen. We don't even have to focus on healing. Our bodies heal themselves. Our mind, our emotions, and everything is capable of healing itself. A lot of times we just got to go off by ourselves. Stop being distracted by things that don't matter. Stop doing the reactions and just allow things to, again, kind of bubble up. Allow yourself to be vulnerable with yourself. And then once you heal your emotions, and also, again, this is shadow work and inner child healing, going through the process, shadow work first, and then getting deeper into the inner child healing. But again, this is going off by yourself, taking that time off from your regular life and allowing yourself to be sensitive, allowing yourself to feel. You have to that's why people don't want to do this work. They're scared. They're scared, so they push this off. They say, no, maybe later. No, maybe I'll create, we actually will sabotage our own selves by creating drama in our lives. In order, the ego, don't underestimate it. We will create drama in our lives to keep us from doing the work because we're scared and we think that the work is going to hurt more. Or the ego gets scared that it's going to be canceled out. If the ego is even recognized, it is weakened. So be sure to also kind of have that recognizance of understanding that when you're with people, when you're working with people, talking to people, you're kind of in another mode. And when you're by yourself, you're in another mode. And when you're by yourself, you truly are more yourself. So when you're working with other people and you're healing, you eventually should be getting more actually yourself around other people as well. More and more real and authentic. Okay? More and more real and authentic. Coming past the way we always used to see things. It's old, it's changing, it's outdated, and doing the work is going to help you. Doing your work is going to help your person. Their working is going to help you. And it's a cycle, and it's inspiration. It's everything. This is relationships we underestimate, how important they are for our lives. But they really do show us exactly where to heal ourselves. This healing is not just healing for the sake of the relationship. It's healing for the sake of everything. For the sake of your relationship with the divine and what you're doing in your life and what you're trying to create as your legacy and how you're trying to give back to the world and help the world as well. You might have a big new idea as a result of going within. might be really helping you and really helping your, again, your kind of idea towards the relationship. It's going to soften it up a little bit. It's not going to be so much life or death. I feel like there's going to be kind of an awakening here after somebody does some more work where, you know, it gets the ball rolling. Things are going to start happening. The passion is going to start building even more. The romance and the flirtiness is going to start to, you know, again, it comes with the ideas first, and then it follows through into the actions. And I feel like it's going to spill over into a lot of different areas very soon, you know, like random, like here and there, you know, like social life going to change a little bit of your, you know, your money, the way you spend your money, the way you act on a daily basis. There's going to be, you know, some tossing things around. We'll just say that. So, and that might be good for the relationship. You know, once you do some work and get over some of these things, then, you know, you may be coming together a little bit more. You know, the passion, you may see, like I said, a clear jump, and it's not going to stop just with you guys. Okay. Because remember, we go, and our frequency, when we're happy, when we're with our twin flame, we actually are sending out frequencies to the world. Okay. The world is changing. The world needs our help. The world needs us to go within. This is beyond you. This is beyond you and your person. But listen to yourself, because your own passions, your own love will guide you. Okay, that's what this whole thing is. Love will guide you. Love will guide us all. Are you committed to love? Are you committed to yourself? Or are you reacting? Are you knee-jerking it? Are you accidentally messing things up because of this and this and that? Be very honest with yourself. Be very humble right now. Okay, I'm going to take some more, just like 3 more cards here, four more cards, just to wrap it up. And like any last advice moving on through, you know, again, this Taurus moon into, we're coming into Mercury, is going into Sagittarius. I'm really happy about that on Monday. Mercury's been in Scorpio for a while, and it's not that I don't like it. It's a great time to go within. So again, I was saying yesterday in my videos, if you have, you know, if you're going to do the work, definitely I would say do it today, Sunday, before Monday, because I mean, obviously there's logistics with that, if at all possible, you know, and it's just going to be, you're going to be more steady and able to come into this energy that we have with, like, not only the Gemini moon, the Gemini full moon, but with this Mercury in Sagittarius, it's more outward energy, it's more external, it's more bustling, it's a little bit less like inward, going within, doing healing. But it's also a great time. Sagittarius is also about creating and expanding, and so it's going to be expanding on whatever work we do now is going to be like awesome. You know, it's gonna be really a good boost. So let's take, like I said, 4 more just to say goodbye, and we're getting some of the same energies here. Okay, paying attention to those signs, pay attention to those feelings, honor your feelings. If you're not feeling like seeing your person, and you always are, don't worry, there's a reason for it. Okay, if you're moving on to bigger and better things, not necessarily like without them, but you just have to have this open energy to understand. This is about knowledge and wisdom, and being open to the knowledge and wisdom, but also not relying on it, relying on the feelings. Okay, the feelings are what you want to kind of guide you on your everyday life. Like, it's like follow your heart energy, really it is. It's like, don't discount your mental, and don't discount your habitual energies. It's getting them into this alignment. Okay, when you do the shadow work, it lines you up, it aligns you. When you do the inner child healing, it aligns your emotions up. And then the external energies, those the wands and the pentacles are in alignment, and they will follow through and get you what you want if it's all in alignment. Okay, but the only way you're going to be in alignment is by paying attention to the signs, understanding what is happening on a deeper level, on a deeper and higher level. That's how you're going to have enough faith here. You need it. You need to have quite a bit of faith, because you're leaving some really good things. Okay, and there's probably some FOMO here. I feel like there's some fear. I feel like maybe some divine feminines are setting, you know, a precedent where they're needing something to change. They're needing more, perhaps. And so they may be a little bit, again, this distant energy here. Okay, but there will be milestones. There will be things happening when the faith is put in yourself and things are coming into alignment. Okay, then we're going to get somewhere with our twin flame. Then we're going to get to a new level, a new mindset, a new understanding of each other. okay? And think to the future, you know, because your idea of your relationship and what it's doing for the world is very important here. Again, the knowledge that it's very important for you to understand that your relationship is helping the world. It absolutely is, and it always will. Okay, and that it is permanent, and that it is twin flame. You know it's true. So why are you doubting? Why are you running? Okay, why are you not able to take the next step of going within here, going deep into the subconscious? You have to do a deep dive. Okay, making me want to go do some work, so I think that's what I'm gonna do. Get some food, do some inner child healing, do some shadow work, do it all up. Cheers to that. It really helps, guys. Even for me, I can tell, like, if I don't do it for a few days, I'll notice it. So I'm not just pulling your leg. I absolutely do this work on a daily basis, especially the shadow work. Okay, so again, it's all located at klaireeberry.com. You can get packages where you get the personal readings combined with the program for a discount. You can also just get the personal readings. And again, the extended videos are at Patreon. Links below, klaireeberry.com. You can find me all over social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, Pinterest. And I think that's it. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.